はい、今回ですね、農園をご案内いただく、ノーウッドさんに来ていただいてます。よろしくお願いします。Can you please introduce yourself briefly?
Sure. My name's Brian Norwood. I'm the export sales manager for Gee Whiz Oval Fruit Company. Very excited for the upcoming cherry season.
Yeah, right.
Gee Whiz is a family-owned company. We only grow, pack, and ship our own fruit. We have no outside growers, so we control our farming practices from the orchard all the way to the packed box when we ship it to customers around the world. We have very modern ways of farming. Nowadays, as you can see behind us, we have the V-trellis form of farming. It gives us these nice fruiting walls that are attached to these wires. Advantage is it lets more sunlight into the fruit and into the tree. So the more sunlight, the better the fruit grows,
right.
The better color on the fruit for sales,
I see.
And the better sugars.
I see. And how many people work in here?
From orchard to packing line to the office, we have about 500 employees.
Wow, 500.
Yes.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Yep.
And then how big this orchard is?
Cherries total, we have 200 acres of cherries.
So you are probably one of the biggest farms in this area.
In the area, yes, but in terms of Yakima and Wenatchee and Quincy, we're pretty small compared to others. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Right now it's June 10th. Typical seasons we harvest. These are Rainier cherry trees.
Right.
Typical years we harvest Rainiers right around June 28th to July 3rd, somewhere in there, for about a 2-week span. This year we had a cold spring with some rain, and so it delayed our bloom season about 2 weeks, which means our harvest is delayed about 2 more weeks. So we're gonna actually harvest our Rainier cherries around July 12th to the 15th, somewhere in there is when we'll start. If you look overhead, the other advantage that we have and huge investment is shade cloth. So there's 2 purposes to the shade cloth. One is it protects the cherries from having sunburn because it reduces the intensity of the sunlight onto the fruit, as well as it adds as it blocks birds from entering the orchard, because birds like the sugar in the cherry, just like we do.
I saw an article that saying birds eat 1/3 of these cherries. Is that true?
Yes.
Wow.
It can. That's why we felt, it's a huge investment, but it really pays off. If it saves a third of your crop, it really pays off to buy the shade cloth and have that overhead so you can block the birds from coming into the orchards.
How many cherries you guys have in each row?
Each row is hard to tell. Usually while we pick into a 20-pound bucket.
20-pound bucket?
And usually we can get 2 or 3 buckets per tree.
Okay, per tree.
But typically when we harvest, we'll pick each orchard maybe 2 or 3 times. So the first pick through, we'll pick the top 2 or 3 wires of the tree because it's closer to the sunlight, less leaves blocking it, so it has the better color and maturity early on. Then after that pick, we wait maybe 5 more days.
I see.
And give the middle wires a few more days to get color and size. And then we come and pick those. And then the last pick, we come back and pick anything that's left on the tree.
I see.
Typically for Japan or other export markets, we usually give the first and second pick because it's the highest color, highest flavor, highest quality.
I see.
And then the third pick through is typically for our domestic partners. Lower quality, lighter color, still tastes good, but not quite good enough for what we need for our Gee Whiz label and export.
Right, so top is the best.
Top is the best, yes.
Okay, easy. You guys are exporting products to not only Japan, but also other countries as well?
Yes, we do. Our biggest priority is Japan. I would say 75 to 80% of our Rainiers that we grow go to Japan.
Okay.
And then after that, we send to our biggest market after that is China.
Oh, China.
And then Taiwan and Vietnam after that.
Okay, Asian countries.
All Asian countries. So, as you know, high color, high flavor.
That's right.
Very important. And, we invest a lot more money in how we farm. Better pricing in the Asian markets.
Right.
But with all the investments, it produces fruit that hits what Asian markets need for the quality and flavor.
Gotcha.
So it's usually more expensive, but it's the Gee Whiz label, which everyone knows and loves. So we have to make sure that the fruit that we put in the Gee Whiz label, it meets our standards.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
I think the best way for a consumer to store cherries is in the refrigerator. If you do have a cold, dry place that you can store cherries, that will work as well. You definitely don't want to leave them on the counter.
Yeah, right.
They'll dry out and soften up. So the fridge is the best place, or somewhere just cold and dry. You definitely don't want to leave them in water because they'll absorb the water and split.
Right.
So if you want to wash them off, you can wash them off, put them back in the bag or in a bowl or something, and put it back in your refrigerator until you want to eat them.
Okay, and then how many days it lasts at like good quality?
I think our good quality Rainiers, they're so firm and full of sugar, they can last 7 to 10 days.
7 to 10
easily.
This is a water system, right?
Yes.
And how often you put water in the tree?
So it's a delicate balance. This time of year, we can water a little bit more than right around harvest, because when you water, the tree absorbs all the water and pushes it to the fruit. We don't want to give it too much water because the fruit will absorb water too quickly and then it'll split, which then we can't sell. So usually we'll water every other day for maybe a 10-hour shift, and then we'll wait for another 2 days to water. During the summer, during harvest, it gets so hot that it helps to water in the evenings to cool off the orchards.
Right.
So then overnight, the fruit can firm back up. We can pick it in the morning, and it's still firm while we pick it. We always try to pick first thing in the morning. We start right when it gets light out, and then we stop by the time it gets to about 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Anything past 90 degrees, it's too warm, the fruit is too soft.
I see.
And then it'll bruise when we're picking it.
Okay.
So we pick until about 90 degrees, we stop, we turn the water on in the evening, we let it cool back off overnight, firm the cherry back up, and then we start again in the morning and pick again when the fruit's firm again.
Okay, so typically until maybe like noon-ish?
Yeah, yep, it depends on the day and the year, but typically we pick from 5 a.m. until noon, and then all afternoon we bring the fruit in, we store it, we get it cold, and then our typical timeline is let's say we pick on a Monday, we store it all day Tuesday to get it cold in our cold rooms. So we try to drop the internal temperature down to 38 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit. And then we will pack it Wednesday. We'll drop it back down in temperature again overnight in storage, and then we'll ship it Thursday.
Okay, I see.
And then it arrives usually Thursday night or Friday morning in Japan or wherever it's going, and then is sold that day. So from the tree in Washington to the stores in Japan, it's 4 days.
4 days, wow, okay.
So it's very fresh still.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Wow.
So with this style of farming on the V trellis, we're able to, as you can see, we're able to plant trees closer together. We angle them away from each other. So every other tree points one direction and every other tree points the other direction. This way we can plant more trees per acre and get higher output per acre.
Oh, okay.
But this way we're not taking up too much room. This is the more modern style, new age style of farming.
We see a lot of like Rainier cherries in supermarkets like Costco or other regular supermarkets. And how would you describe like the difference in terms of like them and then your brand?
So for Costco and those major chains, they care more. They want good quality, but they care more about volume to fill how much business they have. We're not the biggest cherry shipper or grower, but what we do is we spend all the money invested in farming to make sure that we're the best.
Right.
Not every cherry is worthy of being in the Gee Whiz box, but the ones that are, we charge more for, and it's more of a high-end specialty cherry and specialty customer that can afford that cherry and and has the privilege of selling it. We don't try to hit the markets like Costco or Walmart. We want to provide higher quality cherries for more money to the best customers for gift boxes or for the high quality customers.
And then also, do you see the difference between the cherries in Washington and then also cherries in California, Oregon? I mean, they grow the Rainier cherries as well, right?
Yes. Yep, they do. The biggest difference there is the climate. Up here along the river, we get nice cold nights, which helps produce really good color. And our soil up here is a little more rich in nutrients. And the climate is just a little bit more mild here than California.
Right.
Where it's warmer, there's less water availability. Here we have no water restrictions. We can water anytime we need.
Right.
The trees, as you can tell, are very healthy and happy trees. Nice green leaves.
Right.
Thick. So I think Washington quality is the best just because of our region, our mild climate. Still get warm days in the summer to promote good color and growth and flavor, but still cool enough nights to promote firm cherries, good color, and overall condition better.
Okay, gotcha.